Hello everybody and welcome back again to Let's Play Mass Effect Andromeda. So, as I mentioned last episode, I have some plans on what to do today. I would like to go back to the Nexus. I do have like two minor quests that I can turn in, the plant samples and the receiver quests. But for the most part I would like to have a look at the next story mission. The journey to Meridian. I mean, the next step is to speak to the leaders on the Nexus, so I guess I can do at least that point, and then we can see what we're supposed to do next, although I will probably not like continue it right away, because since we are slowly approaching the end of the game, I feel, I guess I want to finish, you know, my side quests and my loyalty missions, that was in particular, before I jump into the final part of the story, so we can focus on the story exclusively for, you know, the last part of the game. But at least speaking to the leaders of the Nexus should be fine, I suppose. So yeah, let's do that. We are still in the system where we did PB's loyalty mission, so I should maybe...
I'm picking up something.
Yeah, scan the system before we leave, since we probably won't return here.
I found something.
Comet Jim Dandy? Why is a comet called like that? But yeah, let's have a look at all the planets in here. Novolori. Novolori's bright and sinister coloration earned it the name of a mythical Angaran boogeyman. Multiple ships have disappeared in its vicinity, adding to its mystique. Okay. An Angaran boogeyman.
Anomaly on sensors.
Okay, this is Pass 88. The dominant life form on Pass 88 appears to be a finger-length worm that thrives in the thin nitrogen and xenon atmosphere. Okay, well, a worm is life as well, I suppose.
I found something.
And there's a river. A Cat Scout vessel crashed into an ammonia glacier on Pass 88. Though the crew died, the ship's reactor continues to emit heat, melting the glacier and creating this great river. Oh, that's interesting. Must be quite an impressive ship. It can melt an entire glacier. And this is Pass 61. Beneath its surface of rock and nitrogen glaciers, Pass 61 may contain buried oceans of liquid or frozen water. Okay, good to know. And yeah, let's have a look at that comet. An unusual combination of elements, but they hold together reasonably well, potentially difficult for a novice to navigate. Huh. Well, I'll take that vanadium, but there's no info on how the comet got its name. I'm disappointed. And one last planet over here.
Anomaly detected.
Tobonorm. Evidence of a cat research outpost sits atop one of Tobonor's glaciers. The outpost has been dismantled, however. Anything the cat found is long since gone. But we do have an anomaly.
Deploying probe. Satellite detected.
This cat satellite appears to be monitoring the remains of the research outpost. It is easily disabled. Okay, gives me some research data. So we are finished with the system. And yeah, let's go back to the Nexus and talk to Tan and the other people, I suppose. Alright, I have arrived on the Nexus, and I would say my first stop should be hydroponics to turn over the plant samples to Dr. Camden. And this should be right over here. Should it not? Where is he? Oh, he's over here. He doesn't have a quest marker, oddly enough.
Thank you for your contribution.
You're welcome. And I did get some XP for it, at least. Okay, next stop, Nexus Ops, to talk to the journalist and tell him that we placed all the receivers. And I believe that the meeting with the Nexus leaders is actually in Director Tan's office, so it should be in the same place, more or less. I believe the receiver guy was over here. Yeah, that's him.
I can't believe he's not returning my calls. This story's gonna make him look terrible.
Who are you talking about?
Thanks for your help with those receivers. Our signal's strong and our message is clear.
Okay, always happy to help the free press, I suppose.
Talk to you later, Davis.
I'll be here.
And finally, let's take a look at this quest. And yeah, it's in Director Tan's office. I have avoided to go to Director Tan the last few times I was on the Nexus, because I didn't want to trigger this quest, but now let's check it out.
Hello again.
They're waiting for you. Careful.
Why?
Of course you approve. Ryder saved your people.
Ryder saved our people. It doesn't matter if they were Solarians. They were citizens of the Initiative.
But it doesn't hurt if there's a few less Krogan around, does it?
The Pathfinder.
Ryder, we were discussing how things ended with the Archon.
Yeah, obviously this conversation here was supposed to take place more or less directly after finishing the mission on the Archon ship, right? And I have been doing all kinds of other stuff in between, so it feels a bit disjointed here. But such is the nature of non-linear open-world games, I suppose. There is sometimes a bit, weird pacing if you don't... if you take too much time in between story missions, as I have done here. But let's just pretend this is taking place right after finishing the mission on the Archon ship. Yeah, I am sorry about that.
Kesh, it's true I had to leave some Krogan behind. I'm sorry about that.
You've already done your part for us. That's more than I can say for others.
Yet I have to question what we gained, provoking the Archon like this.
He had a map showing the location of Meridian. Now we have it, and a short window to get there. It's the control center for the terraforming network. If we get that working, all our problems are solved.
Based on what data? This is all alien science.
The vault on Aya suggests that Meridian is the key.
While I appreciate what you've done for our strike teams, we're not equipped for a war with the Ket. They'll be defending Meridian with everything they've got.
Well, the Ket, they have a very specific agenda. They want to exalt us. So, sooner or later, they'll be coming one way or the other.
If we do nothing, I guarantee there's a fight coming. The Archon's already studying how to exalt us. It's not pretty.
Still, it's better to focus on the outposts. If the Ket attack, at least our people won't be in one place.
Then there's this Sam of yours. We took a chance letting AI get involved. Frankly, I'm uncomfortable with just how involved it's become. I'm grateful, Ryder, but I can't support your plan.
Then I will.
And so will I.
I agree.
Ryder deserves a chance to try.
I applaud the gesture, but you answer to me. I hope you understand.
Well, look at that. All my Pathfinder colleagues coming to support me. And yeah, these guys here, they start reminding me more and more of the council back on the Citadel. You know, they're all like, oh yeah, we are very grateful for all you've done, but nope, we're not going to support you.
What's the matter, Tan? Don't want anyone else overshadowing you?
It's not called the Pathfinder Initiative. The chain of command has to be respected. That is all.
Why am I surprised? I don't exactly have a plan B.
There may be a way.
Pathfinder, apologies. There was an urgent message for you. They said your brother is awake.
What?
Oh,
Go. We'll talk later, in the tech lab.
okay, yeah. I think this should be my priority now.
Scott.
There you are.
Touchy-feely time. Don't you think you slept in long enough?
I thought it was Saturday, then Sunday. Then I figured someone turned the alarm off.
Well, I sure missed having you around. We've hit a few rough patches along the way.
I'm sorry I wasn't there when Dad died.
No one could have saved him, Scott. I wasn't even sure I should tell you.
I'm glad you did. That would have been a hell of a thing to wake up to. I'll miss him. But right about now, he'd be telling us to stop moaning and get on with it.
There's no shortage of things to do.
Yeah, I hear you're the great and honorable Madam Pathfinder.
Please, it's nothing like that.
As soon as I get my gear, well...
Careful.
No way are you fit for duty, sir. You need a chance to mend.
Yeah, says who?
How about the Pathfinder?
The Pathfinder, that's who. Time to rest up. That's an order, Specialist Ryder.
Pulling rank already. Better hope I never tell anyone about that year you only ate paste.
What?
Was it first grade or second?
Why?
You can keep talking if you'd like. Just no arm wrestling.
Okay, fair enough.
Ryder, this is Pathfinder Rix. We have some ideas about Meridian. Come by the tech lab as soon as possible.
Will do.
Okay, but hang on a second. Apparently, I have some other quests that updated as well. Oh, I can finally have a look at that final memory. Yeah. Apparently it's unlocked now. I suppose it was just waiting for me to advance the main story a bit more, because I didn't actually find a new memory trigger or whatever. So it's just available now, just like that. Okay. I guess I'm going to do that since I'm on the Nexus already. But maybe I can talk to Scott a bit more.
Hey.
You feeling out of the loop, I imagine?
I can.
A little. Though I've heard bits and pieces of things from Harry and the medtechs. Sounds pretty serious.
Just the fate of the universe. Well, the initiative, anyway.
Just the fate of the entire initiative. Every man, woman, child, and everything in between facing certain extinction. The usual.
Oh. Well, I'm sure the Pathfinder manual covers that.
Yeah. We'll have it wrapped by lunch. There's a race of aliens called the Ket. They're led by a scary nutjob named Archon who wants to turn all of us into them. We both want Meridian, which is the heart of an alien terraforming network we're trying to activate. We do that, maybe we live.
Look at my big sister being all proactive. Meanwhile, I'm mastering the art of peeing in a plastic jar.
too much info. But okay, I can ask a few questions. Yeah, Dad was keeping a few secrets from us, it would seem.
You should also know, Dad was keeping some secrets from us.
Like what?
Turns out Sam is even smarter than anyone knew. And Dad juiced his connection to Sam. It's a lot more powerful than other Pathfinders. So is mine.
I guess rank has its privileges. What was Dad up to?
If only I knew. But I have seen some of his memories.
Dad encrypted some of his memories in Sam. I've started unlocking them.
What were they?
You and I were there, so was Mom.
You actually saw her?
It was at the hospital the day she died. And that reunion dinner she wanted us at so badly.
Right. Dad was his usual talkative self.
But there was something else. I saw Dad talk with a benefactor in the Milky Way, some initiative bigwig I'd never heard of.
That's news to me.
Yeah, I'm still hoping I can figure out what it all means.
Well, we have one more memory to look at now. Maybe this will give me more info. So, should we talk about our parents, maybe?
I thought maybe we could talk about Mom and Dad.
Sure. What about them?
Can we talk about Dad's death? Yeah, maybe we should.
Thought you might want to know how Dad died.
I was going to ask you.
Habitat 7. There was this alien terraforming machine that had us stranded. Dad figured it out and shut it down. That saved us our ass. Then, hell broke loose. My helmet got smashed. I couldn't breathe. I was suffocating. Then Dad gave me his helmet.
He sacrificed himself?
Yeah, that he did.
I never really knew with Dad. He could be so distant. I guess he loved us more than we knew.
When it mattered most.
Yeah.
How did they meet? You don't know that yourself?
What do you remember about how they met?
Well, she was in the Alliance, researching early biotic implants. That's about the time she met Dad. He was on Earth for N7 training, I think. He says he swooped in and swept her off her feet. Had a whole bad boy in uniform vibe that was irresistible.
Dad?
I guess it worked. They got married. Then the first contact war started, and he was sent off to fight. After that, we were born, and Dad was posted to the Citadel as an attaché.
Okay, and what do you remember of Mom's work?
What do you remember about Mom's biotic research?
Mostly that it's the thing that finally killed her. Biotics weren't unknown back then. So were the dangers. All sorts of rare diseases hit people working around EZO. Mom was trying to design implants to help people harness their abilities. She was a pioneer, and she actually gave it to him.
Okay, and do you remember what the Citadel was like?
What do you remember about growing up on the Citadel?
Big space station chock full of all sorts of aliens. Scary at first, but pretty soon I was playing laser tag with Turian and Solarian kids. Looking back on it, maybe that's why I'm here. The Citadel showed me life has no limit on possibilities. It made me ask, what else is out there?
Okay. Do you miss Mom? No, totally not.
You still think about Mom?
Yeah, especially now. I wonder what she'd say if she could see us.
Dad talked about her before we went on our first mission.
Really? After she died, Dad seemed to shut down. He hadn't talked about her in years.
He loved her. I think he was just lost.
We all were.
I guess so. Do you miss the Milky Way? Well, he didn't really have much time to miss it, right? I mean, technically he just woke up here in Andromeda, but let's ask it anyway.
Feeling homesick at all?
Still trying to get my sea legs, but I think about what might have been if everything hadn't gotten screwed up.
And what do you think might have been?
What do you think would be different?
Well, while you were looking for Prothean artifacts, I was standing watch over a Mass Effect relay. Hell of a thing to stare at every day. I dream about what was on the other side, the adventures I would have, the things I would accomplish. But when everything got screwed up, well, I guess I'll never know.
And what went wrong?
Screwed up how?
Start with Mom dying. I never cried so hard. And Dad? He was never the same after that. He put so much into Sam to save her, but... well, AI's as illegal as it gets in the Milky Way. After the Alliance kicked him out for it, everything changed. Suddenly, being Alec Ryder's kid was a black mark. You and I were never going to live that down.
No, it feels like half of the stuff they have been discussing here is, things that she would know, like, about Alec Ryder's AI research and the fact that it made them, like, outcasts or whatever. So, it feels a bit weird that they are talking about it. I know it's supposed to, give the information to the player, but it seems a little bit weird. Anyway, that is all that I can ask at the moment.
Well, I'll let you take it easy then.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe how slammed I am. Got a nap, then doze a bit, then try to catch up on sleep.
It'll get better.
Not before you find that Meridian. I want in.
I'll take pictures.
But I mean, he's awake again, which is nice. So at least one member of our family is not going to die. That is a positive, I suppose. But yeah, now that we talked to him, how about we go back to Sam Node and have a look at that final memory. But that should be on the habitation deck.
Nackmore more to triumphs after a challenge for her title as Krogan Overlord. Following the...
Alright, Sam, show me that final memory.
Ryder, one of your father's memories is available.
Yep, play it.
Let's see it.
A moment. There is an added layer of security.
What was it Gian Garson said? The code word is Fulcrum?
That worked. This is the last memory your father encrypted, from the final planning stages of Hyperion's departure.
Castus, thanks for calling. Not a lot of people still admit to knowing me.
I owe you. Those were good days in the Citadel, Alec. I checked with my son Garrus. He works there now, CSEC.
And?
He says the Council thinks Commander Shepard's story is bogus.
Uh-huh. But?
Privately, I've heard they're starting to wonder.
This threat, they're called Reapers?
Shepard's word for them. Something about a cycle, an extinction event that happens every 50,000 years, galaxy-wide. And supposedly the alarm clock's about to go off again.
Unbelievable.
I know. But according to Garrus, Shepard's as level-headed as they come. Takes after you. And then 7. So, if the commander says these Reapers are coming, I don't want to be around to see them.
Thanks, Castus.
Take care.
Okay.
Yes?
I checked around. There might be something to this.
If there is a war, the scramble for resources will be on a scale we've never seen before. The chaos will be monumental.
We should accelerate our timetable.
Though we'll keep the reason quiet. No need to alarm anyone. But the arcs must be underway before any fighting starts. We can't get caught in the crossfire.
Agreed.
Is there something else?
Years ago, you mentioned salvation for a lot of people. You knew this was coming.
I knew something was coming. In theory. Shepard made it real.
And now that you're right?
We'll need a new home. We're going to be all that's left of civilization.
Sam.
Yes, Pathfinder?
Track down my kids. Tell them their old man needs to talk. It's urgent. And how is Ellen?
She remains in stasis. As you hoped, it has suspended the progress of her disease.
Make sure her pod is on the Hyperion. Don't use her real name. I'll tell the kids when the time is right.
Oh? What the hell?
Hey, Sam. Transfer Pathfinder access. Encrypt memories. There's still hope for your mother.
Okay.
Mom is here? Alive?
Alec blocked all knowledge of this memory. I now recall his directive to put Ellen into stasis. He hoped it would halt further progress of her disease until a cure could be found.
Well, I did not see that coming. And I've just been talking about, hey, my brother's awake, the only member of my family to stay alive. But apparently our mother is alive as well. But yeah, why did he not tell us about it?
This should never have been kept secret.
Your father didn't want to raise false hopes. This is the reason you were made Pathfinder, to see the process through.
Where's Mom now?
Here on the Hyperion. Ellen is in a stasis pod under a false name. Elizabeth Riley.
Okay, but what was he planning?
So this was Dad's plan.
Alec could not live with the thought of Ellen recovering, only to discover you had died. He sacrificed himself to ensure you and Scott could one day be reunited with your mother. He was also concerned that what he knew about the Reapers and the Benefactor remained secret. He entrusted you with this knowledge. Additional logs with pertinent information are now unlocked in Alec's quarters.
Okay. Yeah, about the Reapers, there was an interesting bit of information in that dialogue. So, okay, apparently Alec Ryder heard about the Reapers from Garrus's father, who heard about it from Garrus, who heard about it from Shepard. Okay, fair enough. However, the Benefactor said that they already knew about it years before when they approached Alec. Or at least they had some sort of suspicion. So they definitely knew something before Shepard did. And that still leaves a question, how did they know? I mean, there is one person who knew about it before Shepard, which is Saren, obviously, because he found Sovereign. And now that I think about it, Benezia, of course, knew about it as well. And yeah, sure, they were indoctrinated, but they were not like ignorant. They knew what the Reapers were planning and that they were planning to invade. So I guess it's one possibility that the Benefactor heard about it from Saren, right? And if not from Saren, I suppose they must have found a Prothean artifact or something to that extent. It doesn't really tell us who they are, though. I mean, it could still be Cerberus, technically. However, I don't think it's them. It doesn't really add up. I mean, if it's Cerberus, then the Benefactor we're talking to presumably is none other than the Elusive Man. And the Benefactor seems very certain that the Reapers are going to overrun the galaxy and that they're going to destroy all civilization. But the Elusive Man in Mass Effect 2 seemed fairly confident that Shepard is going to stop the Reapers. As a matter of fact, he must have been so confident that he decided to stay in the Milky Way instead of leaving with the initiative. And if he was so certain that the Reapers were going to win, then he wouldn't have stayed behind, right? He would have left with the initiative. So I guess it could have been Plan B, but I don't know. I just feel that it doesn't add up. Maybe the final log entry will have more information.
Now we know what Gian Garson meant. That something big spooked the Benefactor. It was these Reapers. What do you know about them?
A Spectre operative in the Milky Way, Commander Shepard, launched an investigation in 2183 into the existence of an ancient race known as Reapers. According to Shepard's information, the Reapers invade the Milky Way every 50,000 years to destroy any advanced organic life. Allegedly, this cycle has been occurring for millions of years. Shepard claimed the Reapers' return was imminent.
Okay, but still, this doesn't help us to solve Gian Garson's murder.
But why was Gian Garson murdered?
Recall Garson's words about the Benefactor. Now they're moving 100,000 of us to Andromeda. I hope it's all for good, but I have my doubts.
What does that mean? Who was or is the Benefactor?
Unknown.
Huh. You know, now that I think about it, Cerberus actually would have a motive to kill Gian Garson, because, as you know, Cerberus has a very clear humanity first agenda. On the other hand, Gian Garson probably intended the initiative to be inclusive to all species, basically to recreate a piece of the Milky Way in Andromeda. But Cerberus wouldn't want that. They would want humanity to rule, right? And they couldn't just approach Gian Garson and say, yeah, we're going to help you, but only if you leave behind the non-humans, or only if you make sure that we run the show once we're in Andromeda. So maybe they thought, okay, we're going to piggyback onto the initiative, but once we're there, we're going to stage a coup d'etat, and, you know, we're going to kill all the other leaders, and we are going to make sure that humanity will rule the other species this time. That would be a motive, right? Yeah, what is the Milky Way? Okay, it is, according to our end state of the trilogy, but there's no way to know for her, I suppose.
That was over 600 years ago. Was Shepard right? Did the Reapers come back?
Additional logs in your father's quarters have unlocked. Their implications are troubling. Your father believed it prudent that you have this information should anything happen to him.
Okay, well, I'll have a look at them.
Got it. I need to go find Mom.
Yes, I do. However, before I'm going to do that, I would like to have a look at these logs.
Your father's personal logs.
Milky Way emergency.
We've just arrived in Andromeda. Before the rest of the Hyperion wakes up, I've checked our comms for any signals from the Milky Way. Looks like sometime in 2186. Everything went to hell. We got out just ahead of it. Commander Shepard was right. And so was our mysterious benefactor.
Okay, we have a Turian SOS here.
This is Paladin command to all Turian units within range. Under catastrophic Reaper attack. Primarch Fedorian is dead. Ground units are searching for the next in succession. We'll advise when. Everybody get down!
Yeah, a very familiar noise. And let's hear the Alliance SOS.
Alliance personnel, please stand by for an emergency flash traffic message.
This is a galaxy-wide alert for all human territories. Fleet Admiral Stephen Hackett has declared threat condition Saber 1. Enemy presence confirmed in Sol System. Earth under Reaper attack. I say again, Reaper attack is underway. Instructions to follow on coded channel Crimson Tacit. May God save.
Okay, and we have another message from Liara.
Hello, Alec. This is Liara Tassoni, and the year is 2186. I don't know if you'll even receive this message, but we corresponded years ago. I remember you spoke about a plan to settle Andromeda. I don't know if your arcs made it out of the Milky Way, but the worst has happened here. I'm with Commander Shepard and a brave crew. We're trying to build a weapon to turn the tide, but I fear that the civilization you remember, the people of the Milky Way as you knew them, could be gone forever. You may be all that's left. Please, don't forget us. Keep us alive in your hearts. And tell your children of the wonders that once were. On behalf of the crew of the Normandy SR2, this is Dr. Liara Tassoni, signing off.
Well, I gotta say this. I mean, it is nice to have, like, this message from Liara here. On the other hand, I feel that this is something that she probably should have mentioned to Shepard, you know, that, oh yeah, maybe the Reapers are going to destroy us, but a few thousand of us made it out of the galaxy. Then again, maybe she has, and it's just not part of the trilogy. I mean, I guess you could explain it by that, you know, they had this conversation at some point, but it happened off camera. And, speaking of this, I mean, everything that we've heard in these entries, the attack on Palaven, the attack on Earth, the building of the Crucible, I mean, all of this is stuff that is going to happen in Mass Effect 3 one way or the other. Obviously, we're not going to find out what happened to the Milky Way because this game has no way of knowing, right? We didn't import any data, we didn't import any save game, so they don't know how our game ended when we made the final decision in Mass Effect 3. So the only way for us to learn about the fate of the Milky Way in this game is if they kind of pick, you know, one canon ending. And I feel it would be very disappointing if they did, because, I mean, obviously you play this game with the assumption that your choices from the trilogy are intact, even if they don't matter. And it would kind of defy the whole purpose of placing this game in Andromeda. I mean, if you're going to decide on one canon ending, then you would not need to put the game into a different galaxy to avoid, you know, dealing with the different endings. And I have the feeling that if BioWare was going to decide on one canon ending, I think they would probably go for synthesis, right? So the one where AIs and organic life get merged, because it was just too obvious how they promoted this solution as the best one in the ending when the Ghost Reaper child spoke about the different options. Then this one was, you know, presented as the best and most beneficial option for everyone involved. So I feel that if the writers were going to decide on one specific canon ending, they would go for that one, and I wasn't really fond of that ending, so I hope they're not going to include it in this game. But yeah, anyway, let's hear more info on the benefactor.
Alec, this is Gian Garson. For the record, year 2185. It's about Fulcrum. I'm on the Nexus and we're going into stasis for the voyage. Looks like you're already asleep. I'm very uncomfortable with our benefactor, and the fact that we still don't know who they are, and all these lives in our hands. I should have done something sooner. This is all very troubling, Alec. Let's talk as soon as you reach Andromeda.
So, again, we kind of have the implication here that the benefactor has additional and maybe even malicious intentions that go beyond pure evacuation. And I don't know, I suppose a Cerberus coup d'etat could be an option, but it begs the question why the elusive man didn't join them and, you know, be part of this new human-dominated society, right? He would like that, would he not?
Jen, I got your message about Fulcrum. It's now 2819. We reached Andromeda but have no sign of the Nexus. I have the same concerns as you. In all likelihood, the Milky Way... well, something terrible happened there. At least the benefactor spared us from that. But why keep hiding? Something's off. But we've got bigger problems at the moment. Habitat 7 may be a bust. Finding a home is all that matters now.
Okay, so this was his final message. Okay, that seems to be all.
I'm securing these Milky Way reports. This is the only copy and I don't want it getting out. Whatever happened was 600 years ago. Someday we might break the news to everyone if the time's right. I guess we always knew there was no going back.
Indeed, indeed. I mean, depending on your choices in Mass Effect 3, anything could have happened, right? From the paradise where synthetics and organics live in harmony to basically the destruction of every advanced species if you choose refusal. So there's no way they could, you know, combine that into like one ending and continue the story in the Milky Way. Hence the setting here in Andromeda. So I feel they should not like pick one canon ending. Anyway, I would like to go to the cryo bay now and look for our mother.
Hydroponics ended peacefully after the human Pathfinder negotiated an agreement between protesters and Nexus officials. Tensions reached a...
Okay, maybe let's mark that one active. Meet with your brother at your mother's stasis pod in the Hyperion Cryo Bay.
After protesters complained their families were being kept in stasis in favor of sleepers with political connections. This is HNS.
Ah, okay, it's over here.
There you are. What's all this about?
I have a surprise for you.
Okay, this is the pod you told me about. Who's Elizabeth Riley?
Well, let's get straight to the point.
I could have milked this a little, but this is Mom.
What?
I saw Dad's last memory. He brought her. ER isn't Elizabeth Riley. It's Ellen Ryder.
I don't... How... Wow, how is this possible?
Well, apparently he just didn't want to give up.
Dad loved her that much. He wouldn't give up. Not even at the bitter end.
For a man not given to rash action, his emotion drove his decisions in the end.
This is incredible. So Dad being a pain in the ass finally paid off. I want to shake his hand. And then punch him. Why didn't he tell us?
I said the same thing, but does it really matter? She's still with us.
Well, let's get her out of there.
That's inadvisable. Although Ellen is alive, reviving her would trigger the disease, which would prove fatal.
I see. Then let's cure her. I suppose it's not that easy. I mean, if we could, then Alec Wright already would have back in the Milky Way, right?
Can't we cure her, Sam? It's been 600 years.
That was your father's plan.
What do you mean?
Alec hoped that in Andromeda, we would discover new scientific insights that could provide answers. Our journeys in Helios have indeed provided valuable genetic knowledge, information that could lead to a cure. But patience is required. For the moment, enjoy the fact that she is still alive, and that your accomplishments will one day save her life.
Okay, well, in that case, keep her safe.
Just make sure she stays safe, Sam.
We lost her once. We're not losing her again.
My original purpose was to ensure the survival of Ellen Ryder. It is a mission I hope the three of us will one day fulfill, together.
Okay, let's do that. And there we go. The mission is finished. And yeah, I did not see that coming. I gotta admit that. Anyway, I suppose I'm going to leave the Nexus. Oh, hang on a second. I believe I can actually continue with this one. Discuss your options with the other Pathfinders. So I might want to do that before I leave. And see what plan they have. Oh, it's actually in the docking bay.
A major scandal surfaces implicating Nexus brass. HNS has learned Nexus leaders quietly armed a group of outlaws calling themselves the Three Sabers. The group was contracted to fight for the initiative.
Where do I have to go for this? Upstairs?
And even Angara. Initiative Director Jaren Tan has denied all requests for comment. This
Oh, it seems to be over here in the tech lab. Alright.
Ryder, good to see you. We've been working with Dr. Aradana and her team on the problem of getting to Meridian.
We think we have the answer.
I'm listening.
It's plans for new technology we've designated Ghost Storm.
When you approach Meridian, our own ships can broadcast fake returns for the Tempest.
The Ket won't know which is real. It will confuse their sensors and draw their ships off.
It could buy you some time.
Well, that may be all I need.
I can work with that. Just enough to give us an advantage.
The rest is up to you.
I can handle it, though it means going against the initiative. We're alone here. You didn't hear that.
Hear what?
We've been collating gamma charts all day.
A risk comes with the job. Part of being a Pathfinder.
Do we actually get paid for being a Pathfinder?
Sure, if they'd pay us once in a while.
Not likely after this.
First, you'll need to research the Ghost Storm technology. Then we'll rendezvous at Meridian.
Good luck.
Okay, so we're going to do this on our own.
Largely because Ket technology appears mimetic, taking designs from different sources to improve their own. It is a familiar pattern. Observe, conquer, incorporate.
How many have they incorporated? How much of Andromeda's life has been suffocated or lost?
I cannot speculate, Professor. We should anticipate the Ket learning from and incorporating initiative technology as well.
Okay, thank you, Sam. So, we have a plan apparently, but I think I'm going to put the main quest on hold for a moment, and instead I will go back... And instead I will go back to my side missions and to Vetra's loyalty mission. So I guess that's what we're going to do in the next episode. And yeah, let's make a cut here, as usual. Thank you for watching, and see you again next time.